Looking at EPA and DHA, especially DHA, I will very much like to talk a bit to you about our brains. Our brains consist of lipids to a very high degree. Among these lipids, DHA is the major component of polyunsaturated fatty acid in our brains. So will an intake of DHA improve our cognition or improve our brain function? And it seems to be that it is so. What I want to tell you about is two different aspects of brain function. The one we start with, how smart are we when we grow up and are newborns, and how good are we doing during school period and that. And then the other end of life, how bad are we going when dementia catches up at us when we're getting older. And it is actually so that an intake of EPA and DHA, especially DHA, seem to improve both of these aspects. The first study I will talk about is a Norwegian study some 15 years since, giving pregnant females during the last 3 months of pregnancy and the first 3 months after, when they were breastfeeding their kids, cod liver oil or corn oil as a placebo. And then they checked the kids at an age of 4 years, and they found that the kids from mothers who had been given cod liver oil, which is rich in DHA and EPA, had an IQ that was 4 points higher than those in the control group getting only corn oil as a supplement. Okay, 4 points is not that much, but I better had my grandchildren to have 4 points more than 4 points less. And this study has now been, I would say, confirmed by a series of studies comparing the content of DHA in umbilical cord blood, the blood that the fetus has been having while living in his or her mother's womb. And those with the highest DHA content in umbilical cord blood did better at 2 years of age, at 10 years of age, and even in school, high school level. Studies are coming up trying to improve kids' behavior or intelligence, their legibility, for example, in school, showing that if you feed them fish or fish meals, you can improve their reading abilities. Our brains are rich in DHA, and you cannot make it yourself. You have to have it from your food or from supplements if you don't get it from fatty fish. And then the other end of our life, the end that I'm in, I'm 76 now, and hopefully, knock on wood, I will not catch up with dementia, but dementia, and you know the word Alzheimer, is a terrible disorder, catching up with nearly each and every family in your country and putting a tremendous burden on the family, on the person who disappears into this dementia, and on the society's health cost. The health cost in the USA is in the average, on dementia, Alzheimer's, is on the magnitude of $200 billion per year, an incredible amount. A big study in the US, the Framingham study, was the first to show that people in that study who had the highest intake of DHA over a period of 9 years did best dementia-wise, because they had a nearly halving of their risk of having dementia in that period of time compared to those with the lowest intake of DHA. And since then, there have been other studies in very large population groups in Norway, in France, in Italy, in the Netherlands, showing that those with the highest intake of fish, fatty acids, EPA and DHA, had the lowest risk of getting Alzheimer and dementia. And quite recently, there were some intervention studies showing that if you gave people that not had dementia fish oil supplements, their risk of getting dementia over a 3-4 years period was lowered. The thing is, when you have got Alzheimer, which is an inflammatory reaction, you cannot do much to improve it, but you can dampen the risk or lower the risk of getting it, which I think is a very major issue relating to the effect of the long-chain polyunsaturated marine fatty acids.